Okay, I finally got my Ranger, my Proc Beast Ranger to 50 with a pretty low CM count here, but I wanted to show off a little bit of gameplay of what they do. Basically, they're just pure DPS. They don't have good burst compared to like a Rogue, even a Monk, a Wizard for sure, Rogue for sure. Um, yeah, their specialty is just sustained DPS and fun-looking numbers. Oh, you see, every time I hit, oh my god, I don't even have my buff on. I'm still just throwing a number. Okay. As soon as this lands, there we go. Okay. So these two are just Dex and Int, basically. This is the Path proc spell, which adds, I think, about 260 to 80 range, something like that, of lightning. Every time I swing, I get a chance to do it. That's based on intelligence. It's a base 25% plus 10% of int. And I have 400 int. So I got 40, 50, 65% chance every time I swing to do an extra 260 damage, something like that. Let's see what it is. Yeah, 272 there. 280. Okay, 282 looks like the max. So I'm doing, almost 300 damage, just that proc, on top of the 450 or something I'm doing with the normal swings. So it's just a huge bump, right? Almost every, or 2/3 of swings. And then I'm also doing every round the low, almost no POW kick, which does another like 350 with my strength. And both that kick and the quad will go up damage when I get, higher strength levels. I also have the epic blades, but there's plenty of other proc weapons in the game. Each of these has a percent chance based on your dex of doing another 100 damage. So you see, every time I swing, I could see 3 numbers pop up instead of just the swing. Right, you can see there's 2 there, another 2 there, another 2 there, the 315 from the kick, and it's just a flurry of like, look at the fancy casino numbers go, right? Yeah, you are also seeing that 44 damage every time they hit me, and that's the Ranger Spike Coat self-damage shield. So I think this might be the only quadder that gets a self-damage shield and an offensive proc. Like the monks, the offensive path monk also have a proc path that's very, very comparable. Except it's AR instead of LR, I believe. But I don't think they get any type of defensive proc. And then Shadow Knights and Pallies, if you're on Undead, I think both get a defensive, offensive proc. Shadow Knights if you're Dark Elf only for the racial. But yeah, so that gives a lot of options to just see basically the most numbers possible. And when I finally find a damage shield item, I'll get something else every time they touch me. Look at the 44 plus 35 or whatever I can find, which will be just more fun to see. Yeah. So, you see the abilities I got. There's a bunch of like bow abilities if I felt like swapping out and doing the like, insta bow abilities to stack down, another 1,000 damage or something like that. But basically I'm just using the blade stuff to keep it blades. This is 1,000 damage. I think it's, goes down a couple hundred each one. The recasts are long. It's not a ton of damage. It takes like 2.5 seconds, something like that, for the damage to actually land once you click it. So it's not like you can just blur through all these and do 2k burst or something, right? Like a rogue can. And a rogue wound path, you can do, I think, 4k on the epic one, so you can just insta-shot a ton of damage. So they get a much more like choice of stuff, right? So Ranger, it's a little tough managing aggro in a group, right? Because as soon as you touch that button, you're getting that blur of numbers. It's all good damage. It's all the same damage, and it just keeps going, right? So you got aggro problems right off the bat. Whereas a rogue, you're gonna, maybe seeing 50 procs from the spells that you get as a rogue, and very similar quad numbers. And then at the end of the mod, you can like choose to like, okay, I'm just gonna kill it outright, or maybe have them turn around and almost hit me or hit me at the very end, right? You can really plan it out a little bit and not bug the tank too much, but these guys, as soon as I open up on the Ranger, if there are any aggro chances, I'm gonna be testing it. Yeah, but yeah, it's just kind of. I used to do this in live a lot, just not with the cleric. I got to build the defenses a little bit. I got pretty low agility stamina still, and the AC, like with the cleric buff, is almost 1500, but it'd be like 900 without. So yeah, once you get the Forester, you get a couple hundred more AC. You get a damage mitigation ability. And yeah, the self heals is another thing. This is just a tick heal. It's only like 100, but it stacks with most everything. And you just throw it on once every 5 minutes like the rest of your buffs, and you're good, right? It's very low maintenance. You just buff up every 5 minutes with everything, like I'm about to do now. This one lasts a little longer, the Werehunter ability. And I just don't worry about it. Just go and click kick and click X, and it's kind of fun working your way through the wilderness. I have the cleric out here, like I said, because I have low whatever, and because I'm fighting dark blues and whites. But what I do on live a lot is just fight like higher end light blues, like things that are just kind of barely light blue, and I could pretty much just the time in between them, the self healing would catch up. So it's just kind of a good time to go out solo, nothing with the blades and a little self tick, and get some rare odds, see the great outdoors. It's a nice little relaxing endgame activity. But yeah, you can do this at all levels if you're just going for like, lower end, like higher light blues, dark blue type of stuff. Give a little walk between them to catch up on heals. That's about it. Oh, yeah, Forester. So if you get Forester, it adds to like the aggro troubles in group. So you're not a tank. You can tank. I tanked a lot. But you get called in to just be a damage dealer a lot too, which you're going to be great at. Look at these numbers. But the Forester MCA, it's a 1600-ish fire, and it's modeled after taunts because it's kind of supposed to be a kind of hack to like almost make you tankish in groups. So it's a range 15 insta cast, and they threw a taunt on it. So you got like a 800 aggro or something like that of just taunt on top of your normal 1600 damage ability. So not only can you not really choose where your stuff is, your little like nuke you get is a straight taunt. So it's, yeah. But, for the troubles, it's still just kind of fun to see the numbers and fun to just roll around with a little tick heal. And you can do the same thing. It's not going to solo as well as a Shadow Knight or anything, but you will kill things faster, and it's definitely fun. Yeah, that's about all I had. I'm going to, just a little gameplay sample. I'm going to be out here enjoying the wilderness for a little bit, letting my cleric get beat up. Just wanted to show you a little bit of no cleric light blues. So 900 AC, almost 3k hit points. I ditched the cleric a while ago and started going over different biomes. Yeah, and put on, I don't know, at least 50 CMs, just kind of wandered around for a couple hours. Let me buff up, and yeah, the little heal tick, like I got a little 120 tick, without the cleric, without any extra AC, and yeah, it's not enough where I could like continually pull from a camp, but it's enough where I can take wisps or whatever's around and just mow through the lawn here. And by the time I get to the next one, it's kind of re-ticked enough where I'm pretty close to full. Oh. These guys are a little too spread out. You can see I'm just shredding things. No real effort, just... So that's what it looks like with no abilities. The abilities don't add a ton. They'll cut it down a round, maybe. Those hex bones are as like high hit point as it gets out here. Those things are like 2 rounds. Just melt them. Yeah, you see the heal tick, it's just about perfect, where by the time you're at the next mob, you're almost back to full. Chop it down. Keep moving. I mean, eventually I could buy the recast for these and get a couple more pot CMs. I got the first 2 levels and go about it like that. But I think I'm just going to keep expanding. Ooh, one more. I think I'm just going to keep expanding strength and int caps and dex. And just kind of keep the quads going as high as I can get. And what I'm waiting on is the last bulging muscles. So give me 40 more strength and get me almost topped out on strength. And buffs are falling. But yeah, you can see I kind of paused there for a second, but you can pretty much keep going in an environment like this where it's mostly, just light blue kind of stuff. You can just keep rolling forever.